Arcade Heroes.
Greetings, it's Adam with ArcadeHeroes.com, and as you can see here, I'm checking out the deluxe version of Elevator Action Invasion by Eunice, licensed from Taito. This is based upon Elevator Action Death Parade from 2009, but they've changed the software. And what you're seeing here is a very cool force feedback rumble floor. And also you have the doors, the realistic elevator doors, which open and close in front of the screen when the game is loading. Now, unfortunately, I've heard from this game being installed out in places like Dave & Buster's that those doors have been prone to failure. Whether or not that's been addressed in the latest hardware build, I have no idea. But it was at least working when I played it at IAPA here, and I'm the one that's playing on screen. And I won't probably comment for this entire video, just for enough of it, and then I'll just shut up. But somebody does join me at one point. But the gameplay is kind of typical light gun fare, although it's a little bit cheap. And what I mean by that is there are situations that pop up, and one will occur here pretty soon, where I face down a helicopter boss, yeah, here we go, where you're shooting at the symbols, but the timing on them is just set to something ridiculous, so you get damaged, just like that. And so it's like, even though I was shooting the target, it just didn't disappear, and I still get hit and I take damage. And so, while that is something that Western games do a lot, where there's essentially just a time to die sort of thing built into the game, and so there's no way to 1cc it or clear it off, beat the game on one credit. It's usually not so blatant like it is in this game. And so for me, that does take away some of the enjoyment of it, just because it's frustrating. That's overall, it's if you're into light gun games, and this is exclusive to arcades, I don't think there'll be any instance of this coming to home consoles, then you know, it's something different for sure. As well as the hardware is one of the things that people look at the most with this, just because it is cool to have the elevator doors. Just again, as long as they're working. The floor rumble is pretty cool. The guns are fine. I didn't have any issues with those. And gotta love the Tron font in the back there for neon, whatever that was. That's another oddity, is how the screen will flash with red blood when you get hit, but the enemies are all green blood. And so it's like, I guess may as well have it all green or red. Of course, I don't know. There might be an option in the game to change the blood color. You know, that existed back in the 90s with games like House of the Dead, where the operator could change that. But yeah. Now, from what I played on this, I don't recall there being any instances where the elevator doors are really used creatively. Like in Elevator Action Death Parade, there would be instances where you come across an enemy like this, and they would kind of force the doors open, and so you had to shoot them through that. And whereas in this, it just seems to operate more off of just something to cover the loading screen, add to the immersion a little bit. Now, a second player did join me at this point, and so that's where that big oval target comes into play. And so when you do combine your targeting reticles together, then it turns into a more powerful shot, I believe. And so that's just something for you to sync up on with the other player if you can. It does have a combo system, it does have scoring, but I do not recall seeing a leaderboard for this, and I know that on the Dave & Buster's version that's been out there for a while, there was no leaderboards. Here's a quick look at the gun in case anybody was curious. And this is something that really bugs me as far as leaderboards go. The reason this bugs me is because leaderboards have been a thing in arcades since the 1970s, since they were first introduced in was Exidy Starfire, or it might have been, I think it was before that, but it was an Exidy game. Anyways, it's so bizarre to me that we're backtracking, where not just this game, but games like Tomb Raider Arcade and some others have been removing leaderboards. And why that is makes no sense to me whatsoever. It's like, what's the point in having a score if there's no way for you to track it, if there's no way for you to see how you compare? And I do have some criticisms of, like, Sega's leaderboards sometimes are a little bit silly, where they have like 1,000 positions, and it's like no matter how well you do, it seems like you're in 100th place, and so they seem to overdo it there. But it's like, why is this so difficult for us? If there's anybody out there that's developing arcade games, we've been doing this for 50 years as far as an industry goes. Why can't we figure out how to do leaderboards properly? You know, it's been done before. There's plenty of games that use a good leaderboard system, and you can combine it with online stuff and QR codes and all that stuff now. But why it's been removed from so many games, I don't know. But anyways, that rant aside, this game, it looks good. I don't have any complaints about the graphics. I just really wish that they would tweak the gameplay to improve that, not make it so cheap. Maybe it was set to a really hard difficulty just for the trade show to get people through it. And so I guess it would be nice of me to check out the settings. But yeah, you should see this one out there soon. Again, it's been out there in Dave & Buster's, but now Unis is releasing it to the rest of the industry, and it's available in the deluxe model that's seen here, but also in a standard model that has no doors in front of it, which might be a little better just because, again, I've heard a lot of reports of these doors not working properly, and of course if they're stuck in front of the screen, then you can't really play, so that's one big drawback to that. But yeah, that's Elevator Action Invasion. So thanks for watching, and you can keep on watching for a few more minutes as I play through more of this, and we'll catch you on the next video.
In there. He disappeared? There's now a shot.